Presentation on lathe machine. Principle of lathe. Lathe is a machine, which is used to remove metal from the workpiece to required shape and size. Components of lathe. Types of lathes. Speed lathe. It is the simplest type lathe. It is mainly used for metal spinning, polishing etc. Bench lathe. It is small-sized engine lathe mounted on bench. It is used for turning small and lightweight workpiece. Tool room lathe. It is used for production of small tools, gauges, fixtures and accurate parts in tool room. Turret lathe. These lathes are used in mass production and for heavy-duty workpieces. Capstan lathe. These lathes are used in mass production used for light-duty workpieces. Special purpose lathe. These lathes are modification of engine lathes developed for machining special types of workpieces. Automatic lathe. Engine lathe. Tracer lathe. Computer-controlled lathe. Swiss-type automatic lathe. Duplicating lathe, computer numerically controlled lathe. Computer numerical controls, CNC. Equipped with one or more turrets. Each turret is equipped with a variety of tools. Performs several operations on different surfaces of the workpiece. Turret lathe. Capable of performing multiple cutting operations on the same workpiece. Turning. Boring. Drilling. Thread cutting. Facing. Turret lathes are very versatile. Types of turret lathes. Ram type. Ram slides in a separate base on the saddle. Saddle type. More heavily constructed. Used to machine large workpieces. Engine lathe. Bench lathe. Automatic lathe. Parts of lathe bed, supports all major components. Carriage, slides along the ways and consists of the cross slide, tool post, apron. Headstock, holds the jaws for the workpiece, supplies power to the jaws and has various drive speeds. Tailstock, supports the other end of the workpiece. Feed rod and lead screw. Feed rod is powered by a set of gears from the headstock. Lathe bed heavy, rugged casting made to support working parts of lathe. On top section are machined ways. Guide and align major parts of lathe. Headstock clamped on left hand end of bed headstock spindle. Hollow cylindrical shaft supported by bearings. Provides drive through gears to work holding devices. Carriage used to move cutting tool along lathe bed. Consists of three main parts. Saddle. Cross slide. Apron. Apron. Tailstock. Accessories chucks, 3-jaw chuck 4-jaw chuck collet chuck. Centers. Live center. Dead center. Tipped center. Ball center. Mandrels. Plain mandrel. Stepped mandrel. Collared mandrel. Screwed mandrel. Accessories chucks, 3-jaw chuck, self-centering chuck. This chuck is used to hold circular workpiece and is available in sizes from 100 mm to 600 mm. 4-jaw chuck, independent chuck. It is used to hold rectangular, square and irregular shaped workpieces. Collet chuck. Pull powerating rod. Push powerating rod. It is ideal for holding tube and thin-walled workpieces. Centers, live center, dead center, ball center, pipe center, half center. Tipped center. Mandrels, plain mandrel, collared mandrel, screwed mandrel. Stepped mandrel, lathe operations. Lathe operations: grooving, forming, reaming, undercutting, thread cutting. Knurling, touring, facing, boring, drilling, taper, chamfering. Boring. Boring produces circular internal profiles in hollow workpieces. Boring mills are used for large workpieces. Holes can be bored up to 20 m if needed. See Figure 22.20. Machines are available with a variety of features. Horizontal boring machines. Jig borers. Turning forces in turning: cutting force, acts downward on the tool tip. Thrust force, acts in the longitudinal direction. Radial force, acts in the radial direction. Roughing and finishing cuts. Rough cut, high-speed cut with little regard for dimensional tolerance. Finishing cut, lower feed rate and depth of cut. Tool materials, feeds, and cutting speeds. Cutting fluids. Concept of speed, feed and depth of cut. Cutting speed equals pi dnm per minute. 1000. Feed. It is expressed in m/rev. Depth of cut. Te equals ddm. 2.